They said her beauty rivaled the goddesses. They said her children filled her halls like stars in the night sky. But pride is a dangerous fire, and Niobe dared to fan its flames. Who was the queen who mocked the divine, and why did the gods curse her tears to flow forever? Niobe was no ordinary woman. Born the daughter of Tantalus, she was already tied to a cursed line. Yet fortune seemed to smile on her. She married Amphion, king of Thebes, and ruled as queen. She was admired, envied, celebrated. Her wealth was vast, her palace filled with music, and her legacy assured. What made Niobe truly proud was her brood of children. Poets disagreed on their number, but some say 12, others 14. Enough that her palace seemed like a living festival, filled with laughter, voices, and promise. To Niobe, her children were proof of her superiority, the crowning jewel of her life as queen. In Thebes, a festival was once held in honor of the goddess Leto. Women gathered to pay homage to the mother of Apollo and Artemis, offering prayers and garlands. But Niobe saw the ceremonies and burned with contempt. Why should Leto, with only 2 children, be worshipped, when she, Niobe, had so many more? Niobe could not contain herself. Before the crowd, she mocked Leto. She called her unworthy of shrines, unworthy of praise, unworthy of worship. She lifted her chin proudly and declared herself the truer mother, the truer example of fertility and strength. It was a challenge not just to Leto, but to Olympus itself. Such words could not go unanswered. Leto, humiliated, turned to her children. Apollo, god of archery, and Artemis, goddess of the hunt, were swift to obey. Their arrows never missed. They would strike Niobe where she was most proud, where she was most vulnerable. Her children, the living proof of her boast, would be destroyed. The festival had barely ended when the sky grew heavy. In the fields, Niobe's sons played, unaware of what was coming. Apollo loosed his arrows, and one by one her sons fell. The palace shook with cries, the laughter vanished, and terror replaced joy. The proud queen's world began to collapse before her eyes. As Apollo's arrows struck the boys, Artemis's shafts found their sisters. Swift and merciless, she cut them down with divine precision. The daughters screamed, their young lives ended by the will of a goddess scorned. The courtyard became a place of slaughter. Niobe's boast echoed bitterly now, answered by the silence of her children. The halls that once rang with laughter now filled with grief. Servants wailed, Theban women shrieked, and Amphion, the king, was broken by the sight of his slain children. Some say he took his own life in despair. The might of Thebes could not shield its queen, for no mortal strength could defy the gods. Niobe was left standing amid the bodies of her children. Her pride turned to madness, her defiance to begging. She raised her arms to the heavens and cried out for mercy. She clutched the lifeless forms of her sons and daughters, sobbing, pleading for Apollo and Artemis to stop their assault, but the arrows continued. In some tellings, one daughter was spared. Others say a son and a daughter remained, a fragile remnant of a once proud brood. Perhaps it was pity. Perhaps it was to leave Niobe a reminder of what she had lost. The survivors grew silent, their joy stolen, their lives overshadowed by the tragedy that had unfolded. To the gods, Niobe's punishment was justice. She had mocked the divine and exalted herself above a goddess. To Apollo and Artemis, every arrow was a warning to mortals. Never forget your place, never boast against Olympus. Never let pride blind you to the power of the gods. Niobe was their cautionary tale. Now, Niobe was queen no longer. Her throne meant nothing, her wealth meaningless, her beauty a memory. She wandered through Thebes in despair, her robes torn, her face streaked with tears. Mothers turned away from her, for she had become the embodiment of grief. A woman cursed to carry the weight of her pride forever. Unable to endure the sight of Thebes, Niobe fled eastward. She crossed the seas to the land of her ancestors in Asia Minor. There, she climbed Mount Sipilus, seeking refuge among its peaks, but no mountain could shield her from sorrow. No distance could soften the cries that echoed in her memory day and night. Niobe collapsed upon the slopes of Mount Sipilus. Her body shook with sobs, her face buried in her hands. She wept without rest, her tears flowing like streams down the rock. Her grief was unending, her heart broken beyond repair. The gods, moved at last, gave her release, but in a form more cruel than death. Slowly, Niobe's body hardened, her skin became cold, her form rigid, flesh turned to rock, yet her tears did not cease. The mountain itself seemed to weep with her. Travellers swore they saw her likeness in the stone cliffs of Sipilus, a woman forever bowed in sorrow, water trickling from her unending grief. For centuries, the people of Lydia pointed to the rock of Sipilus as proof of Niobe's fate. They said her tears carved streams into the mountain. They said the queen was still alive within the stone, mourning her children. The gods had silenced her boast, but left her sorrow to echo across eternity. Poets and tragedians told her story as a warning. Pride, they said, was the root of downfall. Niobe, who once stood above all mortal women, was brought lower than any. Her beauty crumbled, her children slain, her throne lost, her body petrified. Her tale became a monument to the danger of hubris in every age. Yet in remembering her, mortals also saw something more. They saw a mother's love twisted into unbearable grief. They saw a woman whose sorrow touched even the gods. Though punished, though cursed, though silenced, Niobe endured in memory. Her tears became eternal, her name a symbol not just of pride, but of human suffering. On Mount Sipilus, the stone still weeps. Niobe remains there, frozen yet alive in legend, her tears flowing through centuries. Her story is not just of pride punished, but of grief eternal. The gods may have silenced her boast, but they gave her something else, a voice carved in stone, mourning for all time.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more great stories. Cheers.